Hi, it's Miles Red Songbird in New York City. I have a tweet here. You may have heard about it. Share it for those who haven't heard about it. Donald Trump at Real Donald Trump tweeted, President and Mrs. Barack Hussein has a 10-foot wall around their D.C. mansion compound. I agree. Totally necessary for their safety and security. The U.S. needs the same thing, slightly larger version. Of course, I agree. Western Journal Politics poll. Do you support President Obama and President Donald Trump's demand to fund the border wall? Yes, 98% of those asked voted yes. 1,534 votes. No, 2%, 28 votes. Okay, so you can see that America wants a wall around the border. Okay, what do we have here? Sing Bird Song was Augustus. Augustus was a Roman statesman and military leader who was the first emperor of the Roman Empire, controlling imperial Rome from 27 BC until his death in AD 14. His status, statesman at us, U.S. Saint at us, U.S. High status at us, U.S. His status as a founder of the Roman Principate has consolidated an enduring legacy as one of the most effective and controversial leaders in human history. Talking about Augustus. Okay, and his full name was Gaius Octavius. Gaius. I don't know how to say that. I don't speak Italian. So, good guy, decoded. Good guy, Isaacs us, U.S. A good guy to rule us, the United States. That's Augustus. That's Sing Bird Song. Augustus born September 23rd, 63 BC. Palatine Hill, Rome, Italy. His parents were Julius Caesar, Gaius Octavius, and Atia Balba Casonia. Okay, and definition of principality is the name sometimes given to the first period of the Roman Empire from the beginning of the reign of Augustus. A sovereign I'm decoding it. A sovereign good ruler, U.S. statesman, lends saint status to us, to the U.S. Statesman, the noun, is a skilled, experienced, and respected political leader or figure. Synonyms for statesman: senior politician, respected political leader or figure. Elder statesman, political leader, national leader. Benjamin Franklin, has been reborn as Eve's husband, Steve Harrison, co-creator of Quantum Leap Authors Launching Program. Ben Franklin was the great statesman of his day. Sing bird songs, past lives include Augustus, first emperor of Rome, King Charlemagne, King Arthur, Royal Japanese Samurai Soldier, Wolfgang Amadeus, Mozart, George. These are Sing bird songs, past lives. George Gershwin, Jimi Hendrix, greatest instrumentalist in the history of rock music, and he was President Harry S. Truman. Samurai, noun, historical definition. A member of a powerful military caste in feudal Japan, especially a member of the class of military retainers of the daimyos, as samurai warriors. Definition of samurai by Merriam-Webster. 1. A military retainer of a Japanese daimyo, practicing the code of conduct of Bushido. 2. The warrior aristocracy of Japan. SamuraiDictionary.com. A member of the hereditary warrior class in feudal Japan. Urban Dictionary. Samurai Miyamoto Musashi, Edwin Birdsong, and Saigo Takamori, Amur, the Michelle Birdsong, were great samurai. The samurai of Bushi were the warriors of pre-modern Japan. They later made up the ruling military class that eventually became the highest ranking social caste of the Edo period from 1603 to 1867. Samurai employed a range of weapons such as bows and arrows, spears, and guns, but their main weapon and symbol was a sword. Symbol decoded. See Isaac's Mild Red Birdsong. Ordered. Mild Red's will. Michael Spear was a samurai soldier. You see, that came from spear. Same sound, different spelling. Okay, and sword, put the S on the end, and it says words. Breast and decode words. Breasts, those are hanging breasts. Breasts, orders, her daughters, since. Disciplined words, objective logical words. Thoughts, the arts. Talk and share. Yeah, that's good. As a samurai, does the samurai still exist? Although samurai no longer exists, the influence of these great warriors still manifests itself deeply in Japanese culture and in American culture, because a lot of the samurai soldiers now live in America and vibrate and help out America. And samurai heritage can be seen all over Japan, be it a great castle, a carefully planned garden, or beautifully preserved samurai residences. What religion did samurai follow? Born from Neo-Confucianism, which was Sami Ing, he's here, Confucius is here, as Sami Ing at the St. Francis of Assisi's Residence 3 in Chelsea, New York, New York. Confucianism during times of peace in the Edo, Eve's daughter ordered, Edo period, from 1600 to 1878 and following Confucian texts, while also being influenced by saints and Zen Buddhism. Buddha is Govinda Singh, who is also Jesus Christ, Santa Claus, and Saint Valentine. So Zen Buddhism allowing the violent existence of the samurai to be tempered by wisdom, patience, and serenity. Who was the last samurai? Saigo Takamori, Eve Amore, sister of Govinda Singh, Jesus Christ. Dean Martin, whose hit, yeah, that's right, Govinda Singh was Dean Martin. His hit was Amore. Takanaga, January 23rd, 1828 to September 24th, 1877, was one of the most influential samurai in Japanese history, and one of their great nobles who led the Meiji Restoration, living during the late Edo and early Meiji periods. He has been dubbed the last true samurai. He died of suicide. Samurai, so that started the hell of my existences, because I did a suicide when I was Marilyn Monroe as well. And suicide is, Charan Singh says people who commit suicide are very unfortunate. And when he says very unfortunate, he means heavy suffering. Okay. Samurai soldiers, Eve's sons, Steven Seagal, President Vladimir Putin, Eve's husband, Sheriff David Clark, President Donald J. Trump, Vice President Mike Pence, both Sikh gurus. Sikhism founded by Eve, the first Sikh guru, Nanak, samurai soldier, Govinda Singh, Jesus Christ, the Buddha, Santa Claus, Saint Valentine is of Sikh heritage, as were the other royal perfect masters. Jagat Singh Ji was Eve's son, once a samurai, Singh Birdsong, great master, Michael John Spear, Eve's husband, Swamiji, founder of the Dara, Mr. Rogers, Seth Randinger, Eve's grandson, Baba Jamal Singh, Govinda Singh projection, Eve's mother now, Jindara Randinger, sister of warrior Chief Sitting Bull, Hiawatha Ostara Gloria, Eve's great-grandmother, Sally Kendricks, this life, and partner in peacekeeping mission of Iroquois Confederacy. I hope you understand that I'm naming members of the Holy Royal Family and giving you their credentials, their props, as it's called. Who was the greatest samurai? Most Japanese would agree with Miyamoto Musashi, That's Edwin Birdsong, but my first husband. But the fact is, there were a lot of famous samurai being as swordsmen, warriors, or generals. I think the greatest would be someone with great jutsu, great bujutsu, epic deeds, and most fame in Japanese history. Who was the last ninja? Jindar Michelle Ranzinger, Jinichi Kawasami is reputedly Japan's last ninja, as the 21st head of the Ban clan, a line of ninjas that can trace its history back some 500 years. Kawakami is considered, Miles Red considered by some to be the last living guardian of Japan's secret spies. Are ninjas better than samurai? One of the major differences between the samurai and the ninja is who they exactly are. Samurai were warriors that belonged to the noble classes of ancient Japanese society. On the other hand, niggas, were often mercenaries. Mercury sent Aries. My Mercury is in Aries in my horoscope. Mercury is your intelligence. Spies and assassins. So these ninjas were mercenaries, spies, and assassins, and would often belong to the lower classes of ancient Japanese society. Assassins. As suicide, as sins. Okay, suicides as sins. Marilyn Monroe, Eve, having no role left to play, took an overdose of pills and killed herself. When Eve was Seigo Takamura, he committed suicide, perhaps because he, the samurai, had no role left to play in Japanese society. Why did samurai kill themselves? A samurai practice, seppuku, was used either voluntarily by samurai to die with honor rather than fall into the hands of their enemies and likely suffer torture, or as a form of capital punishment for samurai who had committed serious offenses or performed because they had brought shame to themselves, guilt. Why do samurai shave their heads? Samurai warriors took great care styling their hair, which they pulled back into a top knot, like the Sikhs do. In 1185, Japan began to be governed by warriors, or samurai. But roughly, did samurai use horses? For roughly 1,000 years, from about the 800s to the late 1800s, warfare in Japan was dominated by an elite class of warriors known as the samurai. Horses were their special weapons. Only samurai were allowed to ride horses in battle. What does samurai mean in English? The samurai, or bushi, were Japanese warriors. Stevie Wonder arrived, high sex, ordered mild red source. Okay, so mild red was a source of pleasure to Stevie Wonder, and not physical sex, because he used her ideals. That's why she was a pleasure to him. Alive as thy God who dived. Horse. I equals I of Horus. Godiva. Who dived? Godiva. I equal I of Horus. His orifice. Horrific. His eyes, tell me Stevie Wonder, aren't alive. They died when they spied. They had been Judas and Hitler's eyes. The samurai were members of the important military class before Japanese society changed in 1868. The word samurai comes from the Japanese verb samurai, which means to serve someone and look up to them. We are afraid, except his son and daughter, to look up to the great one who serves us, the light giver, the food maker, the sun, the sun, and we do not consciously serve him. We take his life-giving services for granted. The 47 Ronin was a group of samurai who were left leaderless. Those now Holy Royal family form a samurai mentioned earlier. After their daimyo, feudal lord Asano Naganori was compelled to perform seppuku, ritual suicide, for assaulting a court official named Kira Yoshinaka, whose title was Kozuki no Sugi. And then I'll make a note, all three of the children I raised, I had studied Suzuki violin this life. Okay, the mild red songbird in New York. That's all I'm going to talk about tonight. I'll do part 2 tomorrow. Thank you for listening. I hope you learned a great deal. Talk to you later.